This is Mike Check 95 here along with
Bugs.
and Krieger Margin of One. And it has been a very long time since we've done a movie review. Probably about 2 months. But we finally got one for you guys. A brand new one as well. What did we watch tonight, my friend?
We watched King Kong versus Godzilla.
Or as you would like to call it.
King Kong getting his ass kicked for 2 hours.
Now, so...
And then finally having a small amount of redemption at the end.
So, I know you just say you didn't really have much to say about the movie, but like, what were, I guess...
I have things to say.
Well, share them with us.
Going into this film, in the movie theater, they actually had a percentage that they polled the audience on, and they thought King Kong was going to win. And I knew for a second from the first time they fought that wasn't going to happen because they were completely outclassed. But the movie overall, aside from the King Kong rivalry thing, it was good, but I felt like it was short for me. I wanted another fight because I wanted like a sequence of like one wins here, and then go to a third area, really close, and then basically what the final fight was. I liked the beginning part where they had an environment where Godzilla had a significant advantage.
Yeah.
And then I would have liked it if they would have had where King Kong had a significant advantage, which I'm assuming is a more urban area.
Yeah.
And then an area that's more neutral, and then the other big bad comes in.
Yeah, which, by the way, there are going to be spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen it yet, this part you don't want to hear.
I felt like they had a good balance between monster fights and human interaction.
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot better than it was in the first Godzilla movie.
I would have liked if there was less comedic from all three of the people, like they weren't serious completely at all.
Yeah.
Like that one and the weird British fat kid helping him out, like having him hack the computer. Like I get to guess a password, and then he's like, "Wait, I'll spill this alcohol on this computer monitor."
Yeah.
And it instantly just malfunctioned just the tail at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of dumb. I didn't like that.
I mean, like I get why they had the human actors for the Godzilla side in it because of the interactions they've had with Godzilla.
It reminded me.
Kong one had different kind of set, but I got the connection as it went on because I felt like what this film was called Godzilla versus King Kong, but I feel like it was King Kong rediscovering himself. Oh, by the way, he fights Godzilla.
Or Godzilla makes him his bitch. He literally looked in his face and screamed for 30 seconds and said, "Okay, we all know. We all know." Anyways, so...
Still fantastic fighting. Fantastic.
I noticed
loved
the theme, which I like these kind of movies, but like, who directed this? Because it's missing all of the elements of a Michael Bay movie other than a really hot lead chick that was being objectified.
Let me see.
Because they had the pattern of big things fighting versus, and then humans interactions combo.
Directed by Adam Wingard. What has he done before? So he's done You're Next, the Death Note movie. 2016 Blair Witch. He's done VHS and VHS 2. He's done ABCs of Death. Probably about it that I really recognize.
So that's interesting.
He's done a lot of horror movies, pretty much.
Fight scenes were great.
Oh yeah, the fights are fantastic.
Oh, I was actually reading while I was in the break before I get things set up. So we were waiting to see if there's an after credit scene. They actually said that they filmed an after credit scene and then decided that it worked better in the film, so they added it to the film.
Oh, okay.
And they have no idea. Usually when they do after credit scenes, they want to set up for a potential next film.
Yeah.
And they have no idea if they're going to do anything next or what they're doing, so they just wanted to leave it as a slate.
I feel like that, I mean, if this is the last one for the Kaiju universe, then I feel like it would probably, I think it's solid enough. I mean, I would like to have one more Kong movie, but if this is the end of it, then cool.
What else would they do with Kong?
There's other Kaiju you can pull out of the book. There's a lot of other Kaiju they haven't used yet.
Well, the other one, they could have something else in the center of the Earth thing, right?
Yeah, Hollow Earth, yeah.
Most badass thing. I feel like, well, there's a lot of badass things, but one thing I want to point out is Godzilla just fucking shooting a beam of radiation to the center of the Earth.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, holy shit. All these other guys went through all this trouble getting there. And
he was just like, bitch.
I thought they were going to have really competitive fights back and forth. And they were competitive, but like,
I think with it, Godzilla had the power and the strength, obviously, and the atomic breath. Kong had the speed, the agility, and kind of like
Kong was way more mobile.
he was more mobile and he was able to plan on the fly. As I was saying earlier, like this really felt like a rediscovery for Kong movie because, I mean, yeah, the title is what it is, but I feel like this movie focused more on King Kong more than anything else. And I have no problem with that because, like, Kong only had one individual movie, and I figured that it would make sense for him to have a second individual film, but since COVID happened, they probably were able to put that into this movie. And Godzilla's had 2 single films by himself.
2 thoughts on that. Number one, this is an excellent film.
For what it is, it's excellent.
For COVID, because it's mostly CGI, and you don't get that many people actually close together.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think it was. I think what they did was it was easier to explain Godzilla's exposition pretty early.
Yeah.
I want to be the strongest. I'm gonna hunt people down and kill them. Kind of like Goku.
Okay.
Whenever they both grab Mecha Godzilla, I know this has nothing to do with Dragon Ball, but we watched Dragon Ball today, and I was like, this is kind of like Goku and Vegeta working together. Anyways, separate thing. So King Kong's exposition is a little bit more in depth. And,
Yeah. That's one thing I liked about this movie.
So like they had to spend a whole thing to explain that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good that they did that. And it's a little bit more complicated than just like I want to be the king, of monsters.
I feel like he just wants to be like left alone.
Yeah.
He wants to be left alone, okay?
But he also won't like they said in the movie bow down to anybody.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm gonna. Leave me the fuck alone.
I mean, I wasn't trying to like say that I was picking a side and say that I was rooting for Kong anyways, but for some reason I always thought Kong's Skull Island movie and the scenes he had here was more emotional driven, and I was more like paying attention to that part because it was more story, more emotions, more like OMG, like this is actually like really good. Like, I feel like they put all of our heart into the part of the movie, which is why I was so more drawn to Kong's story. Nothing against Godzilla.
The reason I go against Kong and go more for Godzilla
obvious
is
reasons.
too much emotion.
Obvious reasons, yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times they try to humanize him. And that's what I was feeling there is like, I'm going for Godzilla, but I'm rooting for Kong. It makes me feel like I want Kong to win because he's more human.
Yeah.
Godzilla isn't human whatsoever. You can't see any human qualities in him other than my favorite fucking moment, and I saw you react to it, is when they zoomed in on the camera and he has some evil smile on his face.
I saw it, I was like, oh my god.
Like he was like, I'm a badass.
It gave me flashbacks to the Indoraptor smile from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. What are your thoughts on the story and introduction to Mechagodzilla? Could have been better.
What's the word you like to use, Michael? Shoehorn?
Recently it's shoehorned. I wouldn't say it was shoehorned in. I feel like it kind of gave a reason for the fans to not feel like one of their favorites are going to die in this fight. Like, they gave him a reason to actually have to team up and take down a separate force, which is why.
So if he wasn't there, who do you think would have won, Michael?
Obviously, probably Godzilla.
Probably
Godzilla, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that the Mechagodzilla was controlled by the skull of King Ghidorah, which involved telekinetic connection abilities, and then they used the center of the hollow earth source to charge it, and then it became sentient on its own. I'm like, I may not know too much about Mechagodzilla, but that felt a little cheesy in my point of view.
I think it was more convenient.
Like, it was
the story.
It was convenient
because if the guy was controlling it and he started, I think he would have made different decisions than this thing that just came out and was like, I'm just gonna fuck shit up. You know what they should have done?
What?
Had the 1998 Godzilla show up and save the day.
Okay.
Because at the end of the 1998 one, they had the sequel bait where they had a bunch of eggs that hatched, and what if there was an army of those just came out of nowhere and saved the day?
Okay. Final thoughts on the last fight, the 2-on-1.
The 2-on-1, it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
I thought it was fucking cool how Zilla was like, hey, I know how you can actually kill him. Here, let me just atomic breath this axe, and you can just... I was cracking up when that was happening. I was like, oh my god, Gorilla Savage mode.
Yeah, best scene is whenever he was down in that place and he killed that first bat, or where he killed the bat. He was just banging over.
God, yeah. Rating-wise, out of all the kaiju films so far, I'd say this is on par with King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Like those are top two. Like Kong Skull Island's like a very close second to these two films. Like I've liked Skull Island, King of the Monsters, and this film about the same. The only one that's kind of weak is the first Godzilla movie.
How do you feel for 98?
We don't talk about that. I will give it a... I'm gonna go with a solid 8. Maybe 7.9. 7.9. Because I feel like the cheesiness and the convenience-ness of the Mechagodzilla part, it was just kind of like here, and some of the acting here and there was kind of like, what the fuck? I would say 7.9. Like a very, very high, solid 7.9. Like almost 8.
A little bit to take away from it, not a lot.
Yeah.
Some things I hated. Some things I really liked. Put it at 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.5.
I mean, that's close to my score, so, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I would have to say the biggest thing I took that I did not like the over comedic relief.
Yeah.
That's my biggest negative.
That's the one thing we agree on. And I feel like the one thing that we would disagree on is that you weren't really huge on the whole Kong being humanized or humanized.
No, that's his whole character. I like that.
I mean, like, I feel like
not liking Kong.
I feel like, I mean, for a person like you, they probably overdid it for a movie like this. Because it was supposed to focus on the two of them fighting, but it was just a lot of him.
Well, no, I think I think it depends on how they do it.
Yeah.
If it would have been really competitive and close, I feel like it should focus mainly on the fights. But since it was so one-sided in the fights, in my opinion, that it makes up for it by having more focus on Kong.
Yeah.
Because imagine if Kong just got his ass kicked and they didn't focus him at all, and the whole movie was just Godzilla just beating the shit out of him, and it was just focusing on that.
Yeah, that would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, but with that story, and it was a good journey to the center of the thing. That whole thing was cool, even though it kind of reminded me of Star Wars a little bit. Whenever they're pulling out of the hangar, like just that scene, I was like, okay, are they going to go attack the Death Star, or are they going to?
It's not, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's fun. It's a good movie to watch. I'd probably say that's the best film we've seen in theaters so far, even though we've seen two. But we will share our thoughts on the other film another time because I'm tired. You're tired. We'll save the Teletubbies for next time. But until then, this is Mike Check 95.
Krieger Rajan and Bugs.
Since he likes to appear in every video, signing out then. Who do you think won the fight?